folks, this is a request video, and I am for the XF5U post nerf, and it's been forever since I covered the XF5U, so I figured why not? It's one of the two Tier 8 aircraft I have left, as a matter of fact. So why not? Okay, so a little bit of historical background on the XF5U. The broad disc-shaped wing lifting body, as we call it these days, had always interested aerodynamic engineers, but it had never been practical because of the amount of drag from the wings, from the high-speed air coming off the wings, so that's why wings are normally long and thin. However, one boy genius figured out that if you put the propellers at the end of a disc, you could force the drag, inducing airflow back into the wing, and you could get some pretty amazing results out of it. Two of the things, the problem is both high speed and low landing speed, which that part of it was at least proved, the low landing speed, and of course it was of a tremendous interest to the U.S. Navy. Unfortunately, by the time this thing was done, well, the jet age had come and all interest in the aircraft had finished, and the full-built prototype was still working through some minor teething problems, and it was decided to abandon the project and destroy the airframes. So we'll never know what it was really capable of. All right, so post-nerf, we'll talk about that a little bit. The last time I hit this thing, it was damage per second was about 680. When I checked at the end of the video, we were right at 714. How we arrived at that strange number, I do not know. But one thing it has retained throughout is its incredibly high cruising speed. There are jets at Tier 10 that do not cruise at the speed of this aircraft. Now, I made a mistake and carried the Teeny Tim rockets, but took the opportunity to show how to do a successful run with them. You notice I got through that, no particular problem. All right, so we're going to come back through. And I noticed that RB17 above me. And I wanted to, more than anything else, get a hold of that thing, but it was simply too fast, especially at the altitude that it was at. One of the reasons why I think the RB17 ought to be kicked up a tier, as a matter of fact. So I'm doing my run, and I just can't catch them. In fact, he'll finish up the game with some 14,000 points, if I remember right. Okay, so I use this plane typically as a heavy fighter / boom and zoom. You notice I make few, if any, attempts to turn. Wait till I get enough distance. And I prefer to flip this thing on its nose and come back around in a chandelle. And one thing about this aircraft is I like to put long guns on it. The shells are moving at 3,300 feet per second. So you had better be used to using sniper and doing long range deflection shooting, because that is where this thing really shines at. Also remember, it turns like a pig, so you've got to be aware of that too, or you will crash into something. Your defense against oncoming fighters is simply speed past them, and then you can come back around and get them. if you want to. So I don't find it really all that much different from a lot of heavy fighters. Now you notice this guy is missing half his health. He's not a happy camper, and I don't care. Take your time, line him up, make sure you understand the direction he's traveling, apply the proper amount of lead, and away he goes. Okay. Again, we want to take a nice long look with sniper view, get a good idea of his direction. And yeah, it's just that easy. Now they took the sight back from me, and I'm going to take it back from them. I actually don't mind forward runs at all. I usually have far superior firepower, and it usually comes long before they can put fire on me. Again, right amount of lead, high deflection shot, and the idiot rams me. B-32. Well, these are tough. And you can see it's still got plenty of firepower. It hasn't the 800 DPS that I knew and loved when I first got this aircraft, but I sure came to adore this thing. Okay, the guy's going to make a run at me. Very predictable path, easy to get the guns on him, and away he went. Okay, again, proper lead, long deflection, long range. This is the thing that this does better than anything else at Tier 8. All right. Missed him. That's okay. And away he goes. Now you'll notice I have fought most of this battle alone. Okay, so that takes care of another B-32. Trying to get away here. Come back around. Being chased by a Zero. And that is the end of the game for me. So, evaluations of the aircraft. It is still this XF5U. It's just as fast as it ever was. They may have nerfed the gunpowder some, but other than that, I think it's a terrific plane. I did then, I do now. Used correctly, it can be a terrifying weapon. I wish I could say better things about our team play, but you deal with what you get. I think the other team was far better than we were, and it showed. The thing about the XF5U is its speed, the tremendous amount of firepower that it brings, and the fact that it can maintain that firepower, that speed and that firepower pretty darn consistently. The 4 M39 cannons are just terrific. I wish they'd put them back up for the full 800 DPS because it's got enough troubles. It doesn't turn very well, and the 1056 is more than a match for it. And the 762 or 262, excuse me, is more than capable of taking it on. All right, folks, this was a request video. If you have anything special you want to see, and I have it in my inventory, I'm happy to get it. If it's a specialty aircraft or something I don't have in my inventory, you better be shoveling some silver my way. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.